Hey guys, hope your October is going well. Unfortunately, I will not have time to do the Spookytoberfest this year. Mainly because I just don't want to derail what I've been going with the Menoth army. Here, I don't want to stop painting them and pick up something else. Because that never works well for me. I always tend to just kind of peter off of whatever project I have stopped. Whereas I feel if I keep going, I can get these guys completed in a semi-timely manner and then have, a completed army and just have to paint up the individuals as I buy them later on. But did get to play last week. Got to play last Wednesday, or was it Thursday? No, it was Wednesday. And just about won. Again, got killed by an assassination again. But it was either he was going to assassinate me and win, or he was going to fail in his assassination and I would win on the next turn. And so I counted as a pretty good game. I'm still learning matchups too, and learning how to use my army. We played the 3 objectives, and then you have to. Is that metal there? Is that going to be armor? Yeah, that'll be armor. And at the end of each person's turn, if they're holding an objective, they get a point, and you go to 7. So it's very possible to win in a very short amount of time with that due to the objective points. But split my army up when I should have kept them focused, just because that's the way my army worked best, was combined firepower. And won the right flank, lost the left flank, and was assassinated in the center. But overall, I'm enjoying War Machine. It's a different game than Warhammer 40k by any measure, which I like. I like that it's different. It's kind of, Renaissance-y, steampunky / medieval / all sorts of different things. Early modern, I guess. Early modern steampunk. Where guns were still, they existed, but they were not quite as OP as they are in the current World War meta. Oops, out of the camera scene here. There we go. That's better. But I've had some family adventures. Went on vacation this past weekend to Atlanta to visit the in-laws and to go to my college's homecoming. And the homecoming festivities got rained out due to the big hurricane, which, can't help that. I did get to see some friends who were there. Not as many as I would have liked, but, can't have everything. And modern times, people move to where they can't really come back for a quick weekend at the old alma mater. But kids loved it. They got to go play in bouncy house places, which for small children is wondrous, not only for the children but also for mom and dad. Let's see, is there going to be a white crest? No, we'll make it white there in the middle. But took the youngest kid to the doctor this morning because yesterday we bought a new TV, one of those nice smart TVs, and he and his older brother were tearing up the styrofoam packaging that came with it, and the older brother just contented himself with tearing things up, whereas the younger boy took the small individual pellets as they tore up the thing and stuffed them in his nose. About a dozen all told, almost evenly distributed between each nostril, and then immediately regretted his decision, and came and told me, he's like, "Daddy, I got something in my nose." And so I looked. There were all these little white styrofoam beads in his nose that he had stuffed into there, which, that's exciting. And we managed to pull several out. If I haven't mentioned it before, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, my wife is a pediatrician, and so does the kind of child doctoring all the time. If your kid does this, I highly recommend going to an ENT, which is where I'm going after school to get the last one out. That is deep into his right nostril, just deep back in there. You can just barely see it with an otoscope. And it's a measure of how much he regretted doing this, in that he has held absolutely still for all of the invasive lookings and all the people who were checking out his nose. He really wants those out of there, and just absolutely regrets that he did it. And all I can say is, he's 2, and I was not terribly surprised when I figured out what he had done. It's the same one that's been to the ER already when he was a year and a half, or 2, just past 2. He ran into a corner racing his cousins on foot and split his head. Nice good gash on his forehead, and we had to go take him and get skin glue. But so that's excitement for today. I will get to go do that. Been trying to catch up with everybody's projects, watching the Spookytoberfest stuff up here, watching the Get It Painted, which a lot of people have kind of finished on that one. I'm still Thomas the Train chugging ahead here, because I've got this whole army to get done. I may get a couple more. Well, no, I'm not going to distract myself. I will finish this, and then I will paint a unit of Macedonian pikemen after this group. Part of me wishes I would have left the swords off of these guys, but having dealt with that sort of partial assembly, it's much better if you do that and then immediately paint them and then get everything onto them, because there's a good possibility sometimes of losing the pieces that belong to that you wanted to leave off to make painting easier. At least if you're me and you bounce between projects too often. But I bought a brand new TV and almost succeeded in not playing Team Umizoomi as the very first thing on the TV. Almost got it to be Star Wars, but the children trumped me. Which, speaking of Trump, I will not talk American politics on this channel. And that'll be that. But I hope you guys are doing well. I won't make this video too long. Too late. Already 10 minutes in, aren't we? And instead, I will let you guys get back to your day. If you have a 2-year-old, don't let them play with styrofoam. If you don't have a 2-year-old, you probably have a lot of free time. A lot of free time. Or a job. And if you have a job, you don't really have as much free time. Anyway, I'm rambling. You guys have a good one. And may your paintbrush always be